Got it. Right, and I'm gonna make you. You can't see them right now. Yep. Okay. Oh, we're having a lot of Zoom joining. Okay.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm gonna hang up. All right, Margaret, can you hear us out here? I can't hear you. Hang on one second. Ah, shoot, somebody. Did they change this? Can you hear me? We can't hear you at all, Margaret. If you're talking.
And she doesn't have her muted button up either, so.
It might be the TV thing again.
Check, 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 check.
Nope, got
Can you-
you. Yep,
You got me?
Yep. I'm turning back down, sorry.
That's all right. And then I
Okay.
need,
And she can't see you.
right, so I need Scott and Kevin to either move to the other side of the room or move to the inside of those tables.
I'll change chairs.
Okay.
Why do you want to see me anyway?
Because that's what I like. And I have to figure out how to set this up so I can see everybody. There we go.
Yeah, I've never been to one of these coaching before, so I didn't realize that the majority of people would be on Zoom.
Well, sometimes it's the room full of people, so, and we prefer that usually, but yeah. Okay,
Next time.
so we're in.
Yep,
And we
I am in and you can hear me.
Yes, and we gotta get Scott's code to work. His code wouldn't work on the door.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's weird.
So I gotta let Elizabeth know. But other than that, I think you guys are set for the moment.
I mean,
We are. All right. And is it just you two guys in the room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody else is zooming for this
All
one. at least.
right. That's all right. We'll fix that next time. All right.
Yeah.
So let me find out. What's today's date? Oh, it's my brother's birthday. It's June 5th.
Yeah, my daughter's birthday too.
Really? Happy birthday to your daughter. How old is she?
42.
42. Yeah, my brother's 60.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, welcome. Normally I am there in the room at the North Market Center. But this week I am on Zoom for a little bit. And so first of all, for those of you that are Zooming, you don't know me very well, but I really need your faces because that's how I get my energy. So if you guys could turn your cameras on, awesome. Appreciate that. It does make it, okay, Jeff, you can turn your camera off, okay? But I do the same thing to Kevin Wilson all the time, and he always freaks out, but I'm usually in the passenger seat. But anyway, I love to see your faces. I love to get your energy and all of that type of stuff. So first of all, I want to welcome everybody. My name is Margaret Gate. If you haven't met me in person, I know I sent a bunch of text messages out this morning reminding everybody about this. And I am super excited to have all of you together. And I know that there's a lot of faces and names that don't know each other. So what I want to do this morning really quick is I want us to get to know each other a little better. And so how we're going to do that this morning is we're going to introduce ourselves and we're going to share how long we had our real estate license, although I think most of you are probably going to be in the same ballpark. And then a fun fact, a little known fun fact about yourself. So I'll start. And so I'm Margaret. I've been in real estate this is my 9th year. And a little known fun fact about me is I grew up in the Midwest in the state of Iowa. My father was a farmer. And when I was a little itty bitty kid, I got lost in a cornfield. I had followed my dad out to check the corn, and it was a little high. And when you're like 3 years old, at knee high, the corn was taller than me. And dad thought I was right behind him. And I had wandered off a couple of rows and he couldn't find me. They had the entire community out scouring a 160-acre farm trying to find this little 3-year-old kid in the dark. And they eventually found me. I had curled up and fallen asleep literally in the cornfield. So that's my little unknown fact. And so I will let someone share. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I can go.
Awesome. Taylor, you go.
Sorry, I do not have my camera on. I'm actually picking up some things from the doctor that I just got back from. But I am Taylor Vonderak. I have had my real estate license for coming up, actually, I guess a little bit over. I started in November, or got it in November, but actually started practicing in August. And then my fun fact is that I love to cook.
I did not know that about you.
Yes.
So what's your favorite thing to cook? Like if we were going to all show up at your house and you were going to serve us your absolute best dish, what is it?
It's chicken parm. I actually love to be able to cook something better than getting it served to me in a restaurant. So chicken parm, and I make a mean Brussels sprout as well.
Oh, how many of you are ready to go to Taylor's house for dinner tonight? Awesome. All right, who's next? I'll call on you, so you're all going to get to do this. All right, Kevin, go.
All right, I've had my license since late April.
Who are you?
This is Kevin Hubbs. I'm sorry. Good catch. I'm Kevin Hubbs. I've had my license since late April. I retired from the construction industry and decided that I needed to have a new chapter in my life. And so this is what I had always thought that I wanted to do when I retired. So officially retired. Fun fact, let's see. I weighed 67 pounds. When I weighed in for 9th grade football, I weighed 67 pounds.
Wow. That's
So I was-
tiny.
Yeah, I was the smallest guy on the team, so.
And you lived to tell about playing football. So that's a
I
good
did.
sign.
I got knocked out a couple of times, but I did.
I love it. All right. That's a great fun fact. And then sitting behind you, who we can't see, is I think Scott. So if he wants to slide out and wave and tell us a little bit about himself.
So I'm Scott. I've had my real estate license for, I don't know, 6-8 months, maybe now. And a little known fact about me is I was hiking in the White Mountains when I was a kid, and I almost got blown off of Mount Washington. Mount Washington is actually one of the most deadliest mountains in the world, even though it's not one of the most tallest, because it gets weird winds off of the Atlantic Ocean, upwards of 200-300 miles an hour, just out of nowhere. So I almost got blown off the top of it. I was like crawling to shelter.
That is
So obviously I
crazy.
like hiking and stuff here in the Rocky Mountains as opposed to the White Mountains.
Yeah, that sounds a whole lot better. All right. Who's next? All right, I'm going to call. Okay, Mike, we're going to do the Brady Bunch. You're next.
My name is Mike Striplin. I have had my license since I think late March is when I tested and got everything taken care of. A little known fact, I get Margaret probably knows, but so I'm originally from South Dakota. And then because of that, I've been to about 20 Sturgis motorcycle rallies.
Where were you at the happy hour? Because we were looking for the Sturgis guys and I couldn't win my bingo because my Sturgis people weren't there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had kids at that time. I had to do, I think I had a baseball game or something I had to take them to or something because I couldn't make it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you need to get together with Jeff Gorman because he's Mr. Sturgis too. All right, Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Murphy. I have had my real estate license since about April. And a fun fact, I guess fun, more than I guess just interesting. I am also a citizen of the country of Austria.
Oh, wow. So were you born in Austria?
I was not. I'm actually just I just got it last year. Europe does their citizenship requirements a little bit differently. Well, a lot of countries do, where it's based on line of descent rather than like what country you're born in. So my father is actually Austrian. He thought he was German. It's a long story. He thought he was German. He was actually Austrian. He was born in Germany. And he finally figured it out, and he's 72 years old. So as soon as he got his, then I went through the process and got mine.
That is fascinating. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Huh.
So if you have
Often-
parents that were first generation in this country, they were born somewhere else, check into it, see if you're eligible.
So you have to be first generation for it to work.
So if a lot of people, like a friend I used to know, his parents were Russian. So he was first generation born in this country. So if Russia had the same qualifications for citizenship, he could technically be a Russian citizen because he's one removed, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I learned something new today. Thank you for that. That's awesome. All right, Jeff, I know you went off mute and you were trying. Go ahead.
Here, I'm in the room.
Oh, he's in the room now.
Just getting the signs returned.
Awesome.
So I'm Jeff Gorman, been doing this for a couple of years. I was born in Sturgis. I've only missed 2 rallies my entire life. I was in Kuwait one year and I was in Central America the other year in the military. My interesting fact is, I think you probably can figure out, because Sturgis is, I ride Harleys all the time.
There we go. There we go. The next time Jeff and Mike work an open house together and it's slow, what do you think they're all going to talk about, right? Love it. Love it. All right, Taylor, Chris.
My name is Chris DePiro. I've had my license since August of last year. And a little fun fact about me is I like to play guitar and have been playing since I got out of high school.
Awesome. And can you turn your camera on so we can see your face?
I am actually having some technical difficulties that I'm working on right now.
All right. That is fine. Awesome. And Chris is also a personal trainer if anybody is looking for to make us change with that as well. All right. And Erica Anderson, can you turn your camera on real quick and let us see you? There
Yeah.
she is.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erica. Some of you might know this, but definitely I think my conversation starter is that I'm a criminal defense attorney as my other job. Lots of people like to know rules about interacting with the police and all that stuff. So that's my other passion in life. And then I got my license for real estate in March.
So if we get in trouble, can we call you?
Please do.
Because it happens a lot.
So are there certain types of criminal law you prefer, or like what kind of cases are your favorite cases to defend?
Gosh, I love them all. I'm very passionate about constitutional rights of the accused and making the prosecution meet their burden if they're going to take away somebody's rights and liberty. So it doesn't matter to me what happened. I really don't care. I'll do anything. It really runs the gamut at my office. But for you guys, if you're speeding on your way to your open houses or anything like that,
Does crying at the police officer help? Like, no, I'm kidding.
I've seen it work.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Awesome. Did I get everybody? I think I did. Awesome. I always love doing that because I learn things about you guys that I wouldn't find out any other way. And I just think it makes us all get to know each other a little bit better. So awesome fun. I love to do that. So first of all, I always want to check in, and I always like to start coaching with, tell me something good. Tell me a win that you had since the last time we met. And last week was Memorial Day, so it's been 2 weeks plus probably for some of you since you've been to group coaching. So I want to hear about a win. And by the way, a win is not, I got my first client under contract. Yeah, that's a win. But so can be, I held my first open house and I actually had somebody come in who I got a follow-up meeting with. Or it can be, I went door knocking for the first time and I lived to tell about it, right? So Taylor threw her hand up really fast. So go ahead, Taylor, what's your win?
I held 2 open houses this weekend, and I actually needed to tell you, thank you for making me do Sunday as well. So I got 2 follow-up meetings for potential buyers, and I have one today and then one in 2 weeks when a first-time home buyer gets back from vacation. So very excited about that.
Yay! So the story is Taylor says to me, I'm going to do 2 open houses. Can you find me a co-host? So I found her a co-host for both days. And then she says, I don't know that I really want to do Sunday. And I said, well, you told me you were going to do Sunday. And I took away this opportunity. I'm not going to take away this opportunity for your co-host. So I think you should do both days. And she got rewarded for it. So I love that. I love that. Right?
Thank you.
You are welcome. So when I push you out of your comfort zone, know that it's always in your best interest, and my heart is for your best wins. So love that. All right. Anybody else? Nothing? All right. That's all right. All right. Up, go. What you got, Kevin?
Oh, I'm just gonna say, it was a good weekend. I mean, Friday I went out and went and visited with a lot of my ex-coworkers and some of the vendors that I used to deal with. So probably talked to 10 people on Friday. Saturday was the neighborhood garage sale. So I didn't participate. I didn't sell anything, but I walked around and just introduced myself to every single neighbor in the neighborhood, thinking that if I do a mailing into my own neighborhood, if they spot my face, maybe they won't throw in the trash can quite as fast. So, and then we had a graduation party after that, and talked to, I don't know, probably another 20 people, some people from Land Title. Gavin Higashi, if you know Gavin, was there, and his wife Nikki, who's a transaction coordinator. They were there, and then a whole bunch of other people. So yeah, just a really good weekend for networking.
Love it, right? Being out with your people, right? So I actually had a bowling tournament this weekend, and one of my friends from Montana is here, and we're sitting there talking, and he says, how long have you been in real estate? And I said, 9 years, sir. And he goes, oh, well, my Uncle Bill, who has a house in Arvada, needs to move into an assisted living. And so he doesn't know a realtor. And so I'm going to connect the two of you. Right? So the moral to those stories is get out with your people, right? Don't be a secret agent. And when you're out garage sailing in your neighborhood or doing an activity that you love, I don't know if you guys have met Kathy Peterson yet, but KP is a big tennis player. She loves to play tennis. And I think she told me the other day, she was injured. She's back, and she's in 6 different tennis leagues. And every time she goes to a tennis match, what do you think she talks to people about?
Real estate.
Real estate, right? And it's just having conversation and having your elevator pitch. You know, people will say, well, how's the market? Right? And just letting people know you're doing this is so easy. And it's so much fun, right? You're out doing things you love, right? So how many of you have a hobby where you have other people around you? All right. A whole bunch of hands went up, right? So make sure you're utilizing those, right? I tell people all the time, I'm a bowler. I grew up in a bowling family. And here's the thing. If I want to go meet new people, what do you think I go do?
Bowling.
Go
I
bowling.
go join a different bowling league where I don't know anybody. And I find a way to get to know them, right? So go have fun doing what you do and enjoying the hobbies and the events that you like to do. If you like to cook, go join a cooking class, right? If you like wine, go to wine tasting classes, go to beer making things, whatever is your jam, make sure that people know that you're doing what you do, right? So awesome. Love that. Any other wins? Good morning, Marquis. So we just did a thing. So you came late, so you don't get to learn about us, but we're going to learn about you. So one of the things we talked about is we introduced ourselves because this is the first time this group has been together. We're going to introduce yourself. How long have you had your license? And a little known fun fact about yourself. And I'll give you a quick example. Mine was I got lost in the cornfield when I was 3 years old and the entire city had to come out and look for me.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Well, my name is Marquis Outlaw. I've had my license for a month and 3 days now. Fun fact about me is I am terrified to drive through the mountains. So I picked the perfect place to move to, right?
Well, Denver's pretty flat.
Yeah, Denver is, but all the good stuff's up in the mountains.
Yeah. So what do? Do you push yourself outside your comfort zone and go?
Yeah.
There we go.
I definitely do. I'm terrified of it, but as long as it's not killing me, I'll still do it.
And you'll get better at it.
Yeah.
So where did you come from that our mountains scare you?
I'm originally born and raised in Chicago, but I lived in Arizona for 10 years. And actually the mountains here are a lot less scary than the mountains in Arizona.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flagstaff has some craziness.
Oh, absolutely. And driving if you ever drove from Flagstaff to Sedona on that back way, and it's like literally just nothing. Yeah, that one, I literally almost died.
You need to
Well,
go to the $1 million highway, Marquis.
Or Mount Evans.
Or Mount Evans.
even Rocky Mountain National Park.
I've driven through my Rocky Mountain National Park. That one was actually really, really mild. It was an okay drive. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna die and never be found.
We'll find you. We'll find you,
Right.
but you won't die. You're going to be fine. So, all right, couple things. Education, right? You guys are learning this business, right? And learning as much as you can. So I want to make sure you have some things on your radar. The June calendar was released. You can find it in the office Facebook page, but it also went out on email, and Elizabeth sends out, plan your calendar for next week. But let me give you Margaret's high bars, right? Because there's a lot on there. And I remember even 9 years ago going, oh my goodness, all these classes, I just got to take them all. And the reality is I want you to be selective, right? You got plenty of time to learn these things come back around. Jeff will tell you, Taylor will tell you, these classes come back around. We have them more than once. So right now, what I would say the most important questions that you can take is anything related to Ignite. Ignite is a fantastic, who's been in Ignite since we started this session? Okay. How's it going? Are you learning a ton?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're about we're getting close to the halfway point, and the second half is the best half. Okay. But what Ignite does is it teaches you everything from nuts and bolt you need to know about real estate. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about why we do what we do. And then we're going to start getting into how to talk to buyers, how to talk to sellers, how to host open houses, what happens at the closing table, all of that type of stuff. How many of you like, oh man, that sounds like something I should learn, right? So here's the thing. Ignite now, we're trying something different again. You got multiple options. We have 4 sessions of Ignite a week. We have an evening session, which is on Mondays and Wednesdays. It goes from 5 to 7 p.m. It's on Zoom only. It's abbreviated. It's very condensed. It's very laser focused. But for those of you that are dual career and can't come in person during the day, it is a good second choice. My first choice for Ignite is to be in person in the room up there at the North office. And that is on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 until 2. And it's taught, we have 5 different coaches that are teaching, because we do go with Kevin's other market centers. So it's really cool because you get to know people in Castle Rock, up in the foothills, as well as our office. And this is really designed to help you with the habits, right? The habits of talking to people, the habits of going and previewing homes, all the habits. So, and you can jump in anytime. If you're sitting there going, well, Margaret, wow, you're up to session, I don't know which session we're on, but you're up to session, I don't know, 10. Thank you, Marquis. We're up to session 10. I guess I'll wait till you start over again. Don't, just jump in, right? And then just keep going, because we're going to keep it pretty much revolving. The other thing I want to make sure that is on your radar is on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. So you can literally put this in your calendar, count the 3rd Wednesday of every month from 12:30 to 2:30. We host in the Old Town office and on Zoom, the Coaching Skills Lab. And the Coaching Skills Lab is designed that we focus on a very specific topic, and then we bring that to you. So a couple of recent examples that are out there, and I believe they're on the YouTube channel, is how many of you would love to go watch Brittany Heckenberg or Debbie DeWitt or Jordan and Katie Kessler do a listing consultation? Yeah, right. These are our top producing agents in our market center. Who wouldn't love to go with them? But the reality is, it's really tough to take a whole group of people out into a listing consultation into somebody's home, right? Can you imagine being the seller and here comes your agent with about 10 other people in tow? That would feel really weird, right? So what we did was, wow, three ago now already, we did a live listing consultation as part of Skills Lab, in which Brittany Heckenberg was the agent and I was the seller, and we were actually selling my house. So it was a live house. It was a live consultation. We even had flowers on the kitchen table in the training room. And did any of you go to that? Jeff, did you go to that or watch it?
I watched it on Zoom.
Did it look pretty legit?
Yeah, no, it was actually pretty entertaining. Plus, I really thought you were going to sell your house.
Everybody believed I was moving to Iowa. Like, we had it down, right? And we didn't rehearse it. Brittany did her homework. She knew the comps. She knew my neighborhood. That's because Ryan comes over and helps me with my honey-do list. But, you know, it was real. Like, it was as real as if you were in my living room. So if you don't get a chance to watch it, you guys all know where the YouTube channel is that Elizabeth sends out every week about last week's recordings. If you go out to that channel, you can find it. Okay. Then the following month, the Kesslers interviewed Bria as a potential buyer. Anybody go to that one? Pretty legit, right?
Yep.
Right? So here's the beauty. We're giving you the skills. We're giving you the opportunities to learn that. Last month, we did an open house mastery in which the Lantern Home Group, Marquis going, yep, I went to that one. It was awesome. I'm using some of those skills and now I'm finding clients. Right? So if you missed those, go back and watch them. Here's the beauty. We do that kind of stuff every month. This month, we're bringing in an expert. How many of you wish you could connect with people at a higher level? How many of you wish you could figure out how to always win the argument? Whether it's with your significant other, whether it's with your children, whether it's with your clients or potential clients or the agent on the other side. Right? What we know is there's different personality types. Right? Everybody knows the main two. You have introverts and extroverts, right? But you can go to a completely different level. What's their personality type and what's yours? And how do you work with people of different personality types? I'm what they call a high D. In the disc, I'm a high D. I'm a driver. I just go, 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 go. And some of you, this is the first time you'll hear this, but I'm gonna give you a little hint about me. If you're going to send me an email, make sure you get my attention in the first 2 sentences, or I probably won't read the rest of it. Because I'm a cut to the chase. Let's go. Let's make a decision and let's run. Anybody else like that? I'll bet Erica can be like that. Right? Okay, but guess what? So Stacy and I, you guys all know Stacy, right? She's my business partner. She is a C. She's a storyteller. Every detail matters. Okay. We could both tell you the same story. I could get it done in 2 minutes and she'll be done in 20. You guys know what I'm talking about? All right. Because we know each other's personality types, she knows sometimes Margaret doesn't want to hear the story, just go. Right. And sometimes I know I have to let her tell the story. Okay. That makes us good partners, right? That makes us good business for people. If you know the type of person that you meet at an open house and you can figure out through their body language and their speech patterns what they like and what they don't like, and you can mirror that, you're going to win more. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm seeing Jeff. Jeff's leaned in right now, right? He's in like this. Okay. Some of the rest of you are more back like I am right now, just because of the way I'm set up, right? I'm leaned back, right? But if I'm leaned back and Jeff's interviewing me or he's talking to me across the table, he probably would want to lean back as well, right? Because leaning in might mean that he's too aggressive for my personality type. Has anybody ever worked with an engineer or an accountant, right? They want to look at every single line item, right, Kevin? Thinking about your construction days, right? They want to look at every single line item, right? Are you sure that wall isn't a ½ inch longer? Right? Someone like me, I've got no time for those details. But when I'm working with an engineer, I have to slow down. I have to go through those details, right? So Corey Holtman, who has studied the disc over and over and over again, is actually going to do a workshop just for coaching clients on how to do that. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yes.
Then you'll win the next argument with your spouse for sure. Okay. All right. What else do we have going on really quick? KW Young Professional Preview Fridays. I noticed that Taylor jumped off. I know she's got some stuff going on. So young professionals, have you guys been most of you should have been invited to that by now. Great group of people just like you, but they're going to go out and preview homes. The best way to move the market and learn the market is to what?
Preview.
Go see houses. Go see what they look like. Go see what they're priced at. Study them. It's a great thing. So check out that. And then the other classes that are checking out. There was one, on the 20th at 9 a.m., Jason Abrams, who comes from KWRI, he used to be on TV. Actually, if you want to go YouTube, Jason Abrams, New York Realtor, you could actually watch some of Jason's episodes. They're hilarious. Super high energy guy, but he is actually teaching a course on the 20th called wealth building. Okay. Fabulous class for those of us that want to build wealth over time through real estate. Absolutely a great opportunity from that. Other than that, there's a whole bunch of other fun stuff on here. I'm going to let you go through it. But just wanted to make sure that you guys had that on your radar. Okay. Questions? Margaret, you talk too fast.
Margaret, I thought that you have to be of a certain age to join the young professionals. Is that not true?
You do, and I can't remember what the cutoff is. But check with Taylor Vonderak. I want to say you had to be born after 1990, but I could have that wrong. Okay. I'm not sure. I know this. I don't qualify.
Yeah.
I want
1990, I don't either.
I want the OPs, right? The old professionals. But here's the reality. It doesn't matter. If you want to go to those preview sessions, go. Okay. So while it's being sponsored by Taylor through the YP, I would say go. If you want to go look at houses with her, just go. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good question. Anything else? All right. Before I go into what I wanted to bring, is there anything on you guys' minds or that you're struggling with that you want to talk about? Anything you face? Yes, Kevin.
Are we gonna redo contracts, coaching contracts? Those of us that were with Bria?
No.
Okay.
To me, it just comes right over to me. It's the same contract. So I didn't intend to redo them. I just don't think it's necessary. Unless you want to, then we can.
No. That's good with me.
Okay. Any other questions? It was a good one. All right. All right. So how many of you are working dual career? Have another job somewhere? Uh-huh. How many of you are struggling with, I got so much to do and I can't get it all done? It's that I want to-do list, right? All right. So if I brought in a vase, a good size vase, I wish I was there live with you guys, but I brought in a vase and it's clear so we can see it, right? And I take a bunch of rocks and I put those in the vase. Is it full?
No.
Oh,
No? Why not?
because you can pour water on top of the rocks and that might fill it up.
I could pour water on it, right? So I take those big rocks, I fill those up in first. There's no more big rocks, but I still have room for other things. So then maybe I find some of those little tiny pebbles and I fill those in and I shake the vase around. Do I have room for all those little pebbles? I got room for some of them, right? Is it full? Nope. Because then I can take sand. Then I can pour the sand in. And it fills in all the holes. I'm looking at this vase. I can't see air through any side, right? I could when the pebbles and the rocks were in there. Can I get anything else in it? Kevin kind of gave it away. I think he's heard the story before.
Yeah, see how I jumped to the end?
He did. I think he's a D. I think he's a D. You're right. You can put water in it. So if we think about our calendars, right? Now, if we would have filled that vase with water first, could I have put the sand in? No, because there wouldn't have been any room, right? And if I put the sand in and the water, could I have had room for the pebbles? Nope. And I definitely wouldn't have had room for the big rocks. And yet I still managed to get them all in the vase depending on the order that I did them, right? How we work our days is very similar. How we work our calendars and set aside time within our calendars is very similar to filling our vase. So if I take my calendar and I got a blank sheet of paper, it's kind of like a vase, right? I love Zoom. I talk with my hands, even though I'm not Italian. And it picked up on the fact that I'm waving my hands a lot and I was trying to raise my hand. So you guys, I'll be transparent. I'm in Reno at a bowling tournament. So I'm sitting in my hotel room. My suitcase is on my bed using my laptop, which is why it's kind of like hard to get it lined up. Anyway, my vase is, I got a vase, right? And I need to get these big rocks and these little pebbles and the sand and this water all in this vase. That's your day. That's your calendar. So if we apply those same principles to our calendar, what are the most important things that we want to put in our calendar first? Because they're the highest priority. So I would tell you this, if you guys all took out your calendars, whether they were on your phones or whether they were paper, and we were going to plan out the month of June, the first thing I would tell you to do is plan any time off you were planning to take. Maybe the kids, maybe the significant other has a big something going on that you need to be there for. Maybe you got a family wedding that you're going to. Block that weekend so that when Margaret calls you and says, hey, is there a chance you can work an open house this weekend? You can go, nope, can't this weekend, but I can next weekend. Right? So block out the most important things, right? Family first, right? Okay. Now, for those of you that have other careers, those are important too. When are your work hours from your other careers? And block those into your calendar. Okay. Now, what's the next most important thing you have to do? What's your biggest rock in your real estate business? What do you think it is?
Lead gen.
Connections, right? Lead generation. I always tell people that's kind of like going to Sunday school, right? You go to Sunday school and you ask a question and everybody says the answer is Jesus. Well, in real estate, the answer is always lead gen, right? But it's making connections, right? It's about finding ways to talk to people. And how many people do you need to talk to every week? Do you know? If you don't, we're going to be working on that on your very first one-on-one with me to make sure you know what you need to do on a weekly basis as far as the number of connections. Because we know that has a direct correlation to the number of closings we have. And the number of closings we have has a direct correlation to how much
Money we make.
money we make, right? Exactly. By the way, statistically, on average, 100 conversations will get you to a closing. 100 on average, right? There's some skills that go into that, but on average. So when are you making your connection time? Do you have dedicated time to be doing connections, right? And there's a multitude of ways to connect, right? You can jump on the phone. That's my style. I like talking to people, right? I relate that way. Other people relate through text messaging or emailing or all of those different types of ways, right? Whatever your connection method is, are you dedicating time to it? And where is it in your calendar? Right? Some of you, my connection time is open houses, right? The only time I connect with people is I go work open houses and I door knock and invite the neighbors before the open house. That's how I lead generate. That's fine. Right? But where is it in your calendar? Because if it's not in your calendar, guess what? It doesn't exist. You'll find something else to fill that time with. So when is your lead generation time? When is your big rock? That's your big rock. What's another big rock for you guys?
Class time.
Some education,
Learning.
right? We're a learning-based organization, right? And I was listening to, which is probably what triggered this concept this morning, but I was reading a Facebook post this morning written by another coach, and he was talking about being learning-based. And what is your dedicated learning base? And it's really easy to say, oh, I got to be in class 8 hours a day. Well, nobody's got time for that. We don't have time for that. But are you spending 30 minutes a day focusing and learning, right? Whether it's learning the market, whether it's learning a skill, whether it's learning something. And if you spend that 30 minutes a day consistently, guess what happens? Oh, it raised my hand because I was going crazy. Right? Learning based. So those are the big rocks. And I agree that to me, those are the big rocks. And by the way, you guys are all here. Check in the box. You were learning based today. Right? This is part of that learning based thing, right? So then what are your smaller pebbles? Then what do you fill in there? And then what's your sand? And then those other things, right? Sometimes it's so easy for us to get caught up in the, oh my goodness, I got to create this email signature because I saw what Margaret has and it looks amazing. And I want something that looks just like that. You know what? That is not your biggest rock as your email signature. Right? Or I got to have the perfect flyer before I can do an open house. I got to have the perfect template for an open house flyer. Yeah, I know you don't. You need the open house more than you need the flyer. Does that make sense? Tell me what you guys are thinking. Give me some ahas from this morning. Nothing? Uh-oh, I failed.
Crickets.
No, I just feel like we always talk about these same things, like especially those of us that are in Ignite. This is a normal conversation for us. Like we're hearing this on a regular basis. I think it's starting to sink in for at least for me.
Good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is. It's super important, right? Is that, and I will tell you, man, I struggled with my calendar. I still struggle with my calendar. Right? I still struggle with it, right? Because there's always those oopses. Right? So when we talk about calendar management, how many of you in this life or a past world job or whatever have said, okay, I'm going to do this. And you set aside time to go do some project, right? It can be anything. And then the project takes longer than you thought. Happens all the time, right? I need to clean the living room. And next thing I know, it should take 10, 20 minutes. And it took an hour because I got involved in reading something that I found. Right? It happens. So a couple of tricks in time management that I have learned from others that I will share with you. The first one is don't fill every moment of your day with all of the action items and the tasks and the dedicated times. Because something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go long. I almost said wrong, and that's not the right word. Something's going to go long. So you want to build calendar into your time into your calendar called oops time. Right? And it's that time where you say, oh my goodness, that phone call that should have taken 10 minutes. Well, he got talking. And so it took 25. And so I missed responding to my email. So I've got this white space where I can now go do my email. Right? Where if you fill every single pace of your calendar, you can never account for those things that go long, right? Or those unexpected things. So that's the first trick that I would give you, is that to leave some time in your calendar. And what Taylor Kerrigan teaches is have oops time late in the morning, like right before you're going to lunch, and have some oops time at the end of the day. So that way you're starting the next portion of your day or ending your day on a positive note. The other tip that I love, how many of you go to the dentist and they say, okay, we need to book your appointment 6 months out. What day works for you? And you go, oh, I don't care. My calendar's wide open. Am I the only one that happens to? And then you get to your appointment and you go, oh man, I have a reoccurring meeting that I always go to on Thursdays from 9 to 11. And that's when I book my dental appointment. So I either have to sacrifice this meeting that I have, or I got to move my dental appointment and they can't get me in for another 3 months. So what if in your calendar, personal appointments were always on the same day of the week and same time? So for me, I do everything possible that my personal appointments are on Friday. If I need to go to the dentist, I'm scheduling it on a Friday morning. If I need to make an eye appointment, I'm going to schedule it on a Friday. If I need to go run an errand, I'm scheduling it on a Friday. If I need a haircut, I'm scheduling it on a Friday. Why would I do that?
Because
Because I've intentionally, exactly. I've intentionally set in my calendar, I'm not going to book appointments on Fridays or Tuesday mornings. Tuesday morning is my backup for those people that don't do Friday appointments. So when is it in your life, right? Is it Wednesday mornings? Is it Tuesday mornings? Is it Tuesday afternoons? Is it Thursdays? It's just not Monday mornings, because where do you need to be on Monday mornings? Right here with me, right? But I will tell you, I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, that's pretty smart, right? And then it takes a while to catch up with it. But I will tell you, it is life-changing, because I no longer am calling Jeff Gorman and saying, hey, Jeff, can we move your one-on-one? I had an appointment come up and it had to be there. I'm sorry. Right? Because I already know all my appointments are on Friday mornings. I just don't book one-on-ones on Friday mornings. Right? Marquis going, ooh, I like that one. He's got the positive head going, right? So taking control of our time and being efficient with our time means that you're not working 100 hours a week. And for those of you that have other careers, right, until we can get this all figured out so you can be full-time real estate, for those of you that is your ultimate end goal, your calendar is going to become so important, because here's the thing. You still got to take care of you. Still need to sleep, still need to eat healthy, still need to exercise, right, Chris? Right?
Absolutely.
I know he's always on me. Margaret, when was the last time you were to the gym? I don't know how to spell gym. But anyway, it's those kinds of things, right? And if we can build our life and our calendar, right? How many of you have heard the word live a life by design? It's in the Keller Williams model, right? It's in our motto. It's our vision. It's having a life by design. And this is the very basic beginning of building that life by design so that you can do whatever you want to do. All right. Awesome. Well, I hope I just got the alert that we're almost done. So any questions? Who's coming back to see me next week? Hopefully all of you, right? Couple of things for those of you that were coaching with Bria that are now with me. I am so excited to be working with you guys. Jeff's really happy to have some more people in the room than just him and a couple of other people. So this is going to be fun. We're going to grow businesses. We're going to make money. We're going to become an amazing team. And I know that. Make sure, if you're not already, that you're part of the Keller Williams Productivity Coaching Facebook group. I post out there a lot. I also post open house opportunities out there. That seems to be the first place I send out the communication. So make sure you're on that group if you're not already there. That page also has in the featured items section, it has the link to Ask the Coach. Ask the Coach is Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30 and 2:30 to 3. This is the, oh man, I need to call Margaret, but I don't need to do it right this second. It's not an emergency. Write it down on a piece of paper, jump on the Zoom link and come and ask the coaches whatever your question is. It's also a great place to pop in and learn. So this morning from 8 to 8:30, I had 2 different agents on there. One of them, we were strategizing on how to win an offer. And the second one was, what do I do with these multiple offers that I just received on my listing? Great opportunity to learn. So sometimes nobody's there and then you just get me to yourself and you can ask me whatever you want to know. Or we'll talk about whatever, criminal defense or all of those types of things. Also, one-on-ones, please go out. There's a link there to schedule a one-on-one. I think you guys all got an email from me as well, or from Stacy for me, that had a link to my calendar. Please go out and schedule a one-on-one in the month of June. It will only be on Zoom. There's a whole lot of reasons behind that. But it'll be in June. June will be Zoom. But I want to talk to each one of you individually. I want to understand your GPS. I want to understand your goals. I want to know how I can help you achieve those goals, because that is my number one priority. My number one priority is for you all to have the life that you want. And I will do everything I can to help you get there. Okay. So make sure you go out there, check those links. Open houses, we have sign checkouts, the link to schedule time with Stacy to be able to check them in or out. That is out there. So that's a great source of information. As well as every once in a while, I put some funny stuff out there too. So any other questions? All right, fill up my calendar. I want to see you all this week. All right, you guys, have an awesome week. Go make some amazing connections with people. I can't wait to get the phone call that says, Margaret, I was talking to this guy and he wants me to sell his house. What do I do now? And I will be there to help you through that. Those are my favorite phone calls. So have an awesome week. Let me know what I can do to help you. And I'll see you all soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you're welcome. Is everything okay? Oh, that's nice.
No, it's just story.
Yeah, that's always. Special one. What? Yeah, exactly. I saw them do that. She was like, goes to the house and wow, it's boring here.
Right.
Right, right. Just here. We're on the top of our boots, I think. Well, we'll catch up at another open house.
Yeah.
There's gonna be. Yeah. Two. Well, that's all we have to do. Yeah, Linda and Ron asked for you specifically. You were Taylor, so I went to Taylor's. I did this whole market analysis for my sister and husband. And then at the last minute, they noticed this really weird thing.
Hey there.
Next.
All right. Turn this off.
And I'm like, this price, you're rocking it.